Audio Jungle.
NBC News here, Adam Mackenzie reporting. We got a very special and new up-and-coming band. Guys, tell us about your band, what it's all about.
Well, he's obviously the main rocker of the group, so
thank you. Our band started out about 2 years ago when we first heard Led Zeppelin, which was a great inspiration. So we decided to make our own band that used a similar style. So we have heavy guitars, we have singing, we have drums, and we tour all the time.
So you just heard Led Zeppelin in the last couple of years and you decided to copy their style. Would that be accurate?
basically what we do is get up on stage with instruments. We actually hire a guy to play Led Zeppelin, and believe it or not, and then we literally just wait for the chicks to just crawl in, and they just literally show up in droves. It was a little overwhelming at first,
right?
But once you get used to just the copious amounts of chicks every single night, I mean it's easy just to play Led Zeppelin all the time.
I mean, I remember the first concert we ever had. We actually opened for Led Zeppelin, which was actually the first time.
That brings me to my next question. You have been surrounded by scandal and accusations since your inception as a band. When did you get started, and can you tell us more?
Well, I mean, 2 years ago, we came up with a name. We didn't work on music until about 6 months ago. So that's why we're still in the process of, we're about to release our first album though, so we've made a lot of progress. Our band is on the come up.
As long as we just keep playing Led Zeppelin and keep playing air guitar and air drums and air singing and just basically look the part, like that's really all there is to it.
Beautiful commentary, amazing analysis. We're going to break. We'll be right back. For the NBC audience tonight, we have a very special guest. A new band that's an up-and-coming celebrity rock star appearance. Let's introduce our newest guest on today's show. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves? Tell us a little about your band.
We are Civil Disturbance. You can catch our new album out tonight, midnight tonight.
It's actually a midnight release party. Surprise!
Wow.
You guys are the first people to host it.
Very exciting. So when did you get started and how did you get started?
It's one of those things. Some people are born and they just know right from the get-go what they're born to do and what they're, going to do with the rest of their life. And it was just that same kind of thing. Somebody approached us and basically said, hey, we want to turn you into a culture icon, and we want to really mold the future generations after your guys' style. And we were totally on board for that.
That really brings me to my next question. I heard a rumor, and tell me if this is true or not, that you guys got your first big appearance show through a friend, who's now your friend, who was, I guess, your agent back in the day when you were just starting off in music, and he saw your potential, brought you on. Who is that man, and what can you tell us about it?
We've gone through probably 6 or 7 agents over the past 6 or 7 years, and the most recent agent we had was the one that you're talking about. He finally got us that big shot at the mainstream, so now we're playing on all the big radio stations. I'd like to give a big shout out to
KJ07. You did a great job out there. Thank you.
And everybody check out his website too, kj07.com. A great agent, especially for up and comers. When we first started, we thought we had no shot, but then
We saw just how hard the competition was, and in the music industry, it's so demanding. It's always tours and then signings and then meeting the fans, and all while still working on new music.
Sure, and speaking about competition, we know that Bono and U2 is going to be your direct competition in one of these upcoming shows. You're throwing a charity concert, is that correct?
Well, we actually wrote most of the lyrics for U2. That is something that probably will come out in the near future, but
right.
That's a very contested statement. Are you saying on national TV right now that you wrote U2's lyrics and that Bono didn't write his own lyrics?
Well, we signed a non-disclosure agreement originally. However, Bono has recently decided to stop paying his royalty fees. So we're coming out with it publicly. U2 is a fraud. We wrote all their music.
We are back with Civil Disturbance. In our last segment, we had an unexpected commercial interruption. We're back with Civil Disturbance now, and they were prepared to walk back their statement about their relationship with the famed and very important and very charitable artist Bono and his band U2.
No, we were just letting everyone know that U2's content is mostly written by us. We're not going back on that statement, despite what you just said. All due respect, but I think you're twisting our words.
All right, so let's move on to a new question. I've heard that you're having an up-and-coming concert. Can you tell me about that? I hear it's in Colorado at the Red Rock Stadium.
So we're doing a charity event, and basically there's a lot of kids who are part of various activities that now are less fortunate than the regular children who are able to attend schools and do things like that. So for those other kids, we are actually holding a huge concert, and it's great because the kids love U2, but they don't want all the flashy stuff of, hey, look how great I am and I'm better than everyone.
So the name Civil Disturbance, what does that mean?
Actually,
Why did you
I wasn't
name
done with that.
the name Civil Disturbance? What does that mean, and why did you pick it? And what kind of songs are you coming out with in the future?
We started off covering U2, obviously, because they
And we got a huge following right off the bat. It was almost like they did all the work paving the way for us.
So I understand that you have an up and coming concert and a stadium venue at Red Rocks in Colorado. What can you tell me about that?
Well, we're going to be playing a lot of U2 because when we started out, U2 was basically our bread and butter. We covered U2 the whole time, which is why now it's coming out that U2 has been...
So I understand that you have an up-and-coming performance at Red Rock Stadium in Colorado. What can you tell me about this?
Well, first of all, we're going to be performing a lot of U2. U2 was kind of our bread and butter. Starting out, we covered a lot of U2, which is why now it's starting to come out that U2 has been taking all the material that we wrote for them originally, and they've been kind of passing it off as their own. But we're going to be playing a lot of U2 at this concert. We also have a new album coming out. We'll be previewing 3 or 4 songs from that new album for the first time ever.
And
wow.
Yeah, it is for charity, so it's a great way to get a lot of exposure to U2 style music, especially because writing most of their lyrics, we paved the way for basically where U2 is at today. And they're selling out stadiums, and we're just literally playing these tiny shows, trying to get children involved and trying to get new followers. So it is a great way to just get exposure and really help everyone out at the same time.
Very exciting, guys. That's really great work. I mean, what else can you tell me about this charity work you're doing?
Well, one thing I'd like to point out is I have been using the same style of guitar for about 6 or 7 years now, basically right after we started. And if you look back at Bono's guitars, over the years they basically progress and mold into my guitar, and I feel like he's really just taking the personal factor, trying to take the personal factor out of Civil Disobedience. I mean, that just, to me, that really is trying to undermine our business, especially when he's already at the top and he has his purple glasses. I don't get what else he wants. This is really starting to really tick me off. I just don't understand why everyone likes to cover for him all the time, man.
We're starting a class action lawsuit, but that's in the future. We do have a class action lawsuit in the works that'll be coming out in the next year or two, so look out for that. But other than that, we're really just working on ourselves. We have to get to a point where our music is in the public eye.
And by us, not by somebody else, basically imitating all of our music and our vision for what music should be. We actually told certain people, and it'll become evident once this comes out in hearings and things like that. But you recommend someone at a party should wear purple glasses, and the next thing you know, that's who they are. It really just lets you know how far these people are willing to go. So we do have to stand up for what is right.